Hi guys, and welcome back to the Autosportivo YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about another car that's in my collection, and this will be the 10th year of ownership, and it's my 147 GTA. So, my favourite part of this car is this. Just look at that. That is a work of art. Have you ever seen an engine that sexy underneath a hood of a car? Packing out 250 brake horsepower, 3.2, 24 valve, V6, Busso's finest. Just look at it, so pretty. Anyway. That's my favourite part of the car. I'm going to show you around what else I like about it, and you'll find out why I've held on to it for 10 years. Apart from the engine, look at these seats. They're just so gorgeous. Do you know what? It reminds me of Ferrari, the way all this is, the door cards. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a nice place to be in. Really puts smiles on your face when you're sat behind the wheel in this, especially when that engine note comes on tune. So nice. They're heated as well, and they bloody work. Most Alfa ones don't, but everything in here works. The aircon, everything, the radio, and normally they don't. The only thing with Alfa Romeo, especially with this one, when I leave it parked up, because she's a garage queen now, I don't use it as a daily. When I leave it parked up, I'll get silly error messages, VDC and engine management light comes on, but I take it for a quick blast down and up and road, switch it off, switch it back on, and it all disappears. But you can forgive it because it just sounds beautiful and it goes like the clappers. So I'm joined here today by Nathan Chadwick, former assistant editor of Modern Classics magazine. He also owns an Alfa 147 GTA, and we're going to go out in both of them, aren't we?
Yeah. If they don't break down.
If they don't break down. Good old Alphas. So here we are, taking the 147 GTA out so we can show you guys what it's like. I'll try not to be too biased, but I will tell you one thing. I've owned a Golf R32, Mark 5, 06 plate, is that Mark 5? I don't know, comment below if I'm wrong. But yeah, they're quick and they sound beautiful as well, but they're bloody boring. Jump in a 147 GTA and they just feel special. And I'm not being biased because I like Italian cars, but it does. I used to work at Vindis at Audi, a VW Audi garage. And even when I used to take out a normal 2-litre Audi, it's boring and slow compared to Alfa Romeo's T-Spark engine. So, yeah, and I promise you, I'm not being biased whatsoever. Italian cars in general have got a heart to them and they talk to you. People make jokes about, oh, they break down and they won't get you to where you want to go. But do you know what? This, in 10 years, it hasn't given me any major issues whatsoever. Touch wood. Go around that corner and probably break down now. But it hasn't. I've had sensors go on it, like the brake pedal sensor, that goes, and then you get VDC, it comes on. But that's about it. I've kept on top of the maintenance, cam belts and servicing, but this one in 10 years, it's never given me any issues. I've done bits to it. I've decatted it, so I've removed the decats underneath. It's got Novitec quad exhaust system. I love the Wizard exhausts, but this one's got Novitec quads at the back. It's more deeper raw. Hoping you guys can hear it. All GTAs sound different, depends what exhaust you've got on them. So this one's got an induction kit on it. It's got the middle cats that are gone, and I've got a quad. But if you can hear that, do they handle well? This one's on standard suspension. I've got Nathan Chadwick's Alfa 147 at the garage, and we're going to go out in his one later. I'm going to get him to take his one out. His one handles really nice. He's had ABAC anti-roll bars fitted, coilovers, and it does handle much better than this. This is just standard, but I'm going to keep this standard, this one. But it's the noise that Busso makes. You find me another V6 engine that sounds as beautiful as that. Don't forget, Giuseppe Busso did work at Ferrari. Just keep on top of it, like any Alfa Romeo, keep on top of the maintenance, regular servicing. Just look after them like you'd look after your wife, and you'll be fine. Alfa Romeos come in two states, very bad or very good.
So hello viewers, as you may have known from Modern Classics, this is my Alfa Romeo 147 GTA. I've now had it 5 years, and it was always my dream to have one. Ever since watching it on Top Gear, I knew that the idea of a small hatchback with a 6-cylinder engine, you know, it just offered something that a 4-cylinder with a turbo just didn't. It seemed more exotic, it seemed more exciting, and as a weekend car, that's what a car should be, exciting. Now, no, it's not a great track car. There's far too much metal up in the engine bay. If you've seen in the engine bay, basically it's about 2 inches behind the headlights. That means on the limit, on track, I'll say it, it's useless. And you also notice that the camera is shaking quite a bit. This particular car, my car, has the IBAC Pro Kit. So it has thicker anti-roll bars front and rear. It also has Bilstein dampers and springs. Now, the original car, standard, it doesn't ride very well at all. It's harsh, it's very, very crashy, as you're experiencing here. You know, the standard suspension isn't great. Oh, ouch. And I thought that for the extra control the suspension kit would give me, I didn't think the trade-off was too bad. And I think that you're able to trust the car more. So when I first got it, I was going over mid-corner bumps, and I was feeling the steering go very light. And in a car with the weight distribution of a hammer at the end of a sock, which is what this car has, that's not really what you want. So this car has 250 brake horsepower, which isn't a lot in a world where you've got an AMG hot hatch with 350, 400 brake horsepower. But it doesn't need to be. This car makes you feel alive. There's a tangible fizz that it gives you as you rev to 7,000 RPM. You know, hearing it go all the way like all the cliched Italian supercars, you just love it. I've thought about selling this car several times, thinking, I fancy something rear-wheel drive, I fancy something a little bit more exotic, I fancy something a little bit German. But every time I get behind the wheel, it puts up a huge smile on my face. And through Modern Classics and the various magazines that I work for, I get to drive some special kit. But when I get up in the morning, at the weekend, and I just want to kind of exercise some demons, I just find this car does that. Puts a huge smile on my face. And isn't that what you want from a weekend car? What I don't like about it? Well, as I'm demonstrating now, it has the turning circle of a galleon. Only in this car you will get to experience that quite often. Only with a 3.2 litre Busso V6. What else? There are some problems with this car. Alfa Romeo decided, in its infinite wisdom, to fit the ECU on the top of the engine. Now this is something I live in fear of, because there's one capacitor on that ECU that melts. And if it does, you can take your chances with a 700 quid resoldering effort, which may or may not solve the problem, and might not solve the problem all the way. But replacing that Bosch unit, if you can find it, is £2,000. You can get an aftermarket version, which is also £2,000. But this is the problem with this car now. You're getting to a stage where parts are difficult to get hold of, the indicators are no longer available, the clutch cable no longer available. Alfa Romeo have just made the bumpers front and rear available, mainly because they tripped over it in the old factory. But hopefully this will change. One of the most important things to look out for when you're considering a 147 GTA is to make sure that it has the Q2 limited slip diff fitted, because these cars were sold without a limited slip diff. And as you can imagine, 250 brake horsepower through the front wheels with an open diff means that there's a tendency to go straight on when you come to corners, which unless you like talking to sheep upside down whilst waiting for the emergency services, is best avoided, I find anyway. Without the Q2 diff, not only will you go straight on, but it would also destroy the gearbox. So the Q2 diff, have it done, or choose one we've already done. Other thing to make sure is the cam belt, because that's expensive. The other thing is, with this car, is that it is heavy on front tyres. If you're considering a semi-slick tyre or a kind of a track day tyre, it will chew through those in less than 1,500 miles. I've got Michelin Pilot Sport 4s on this, fitted by vintage tyres, and it transforms the grip. They are by far the best tyres I've chosen for this. There's just the right amount of slip, right amount of grip, it works beautifully. 147 GTA is not a perfect car, but then the best things in life are rarely perfect. I can get into this car and by the end of it I'll be laughing, whether I've torn a hole in the fabric of time or reorganised the laws of physics. It will make me laugh. The engine is wonderful, and with the right mods it will drive wonderfully as well. No, it's not quite as crisp as a 182 trophy around a track. I've tried it. No. But as a road car, for what you really use it for on the road, for the excitement it gives you, it just speaks to you, and it will elucidate, and it will bring forth all the traditional cliches about Italian motoring. They are cliches for a reason, and this car is the essence of that. It puts a huge smile on your face. And isn't that what they're for, at the end of the day?
So, the reason why this car has been in my collection for so long, it's actually another sentimental reason. Believe it or not, I've had this car longer than the Uno Turbo, and I brought it before Autosportivo existed. I actually sold it to use the money to fund the business at the beginning, which broke my heart. And within, I don't know, 5 to 6 months, the owner I sold it to asked me if I wanted to buy it back. And I was like, yeah, and I was fortunate enough to buy it back off him. And it's been with me ever since. And this year will be the 10th year that I've had this GTA in my collection. Will I sell it? I don't know. They're all hard to sell. I get too attached to them, but just look at it. You show me another car in that era that looked like it's on steroids and so pleasant to drive. I just can't part with it, to be honest. Try and replace it, I don't even know what I'd replace it with. So I'll just hang on to it. Plus the values of them, even though I didn't buy it back then because of the values, I paid peanuts for it. But the values of these today, especially a good one with low mileage, they're pretty decent. So yeah, everybody, my 147 GTA. Right guys, don't forget to like and comment below and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching today.